Hey everyone, it's Brian here from B&D Crafts More here on YouTube. Today I'm coming on to make a gift card holder with this tag die. It's some cardstock and this toilet paper roll. So what we're going to do is put the tag die, when we cut it out, put it in there. And that's going to be our gift card holder. So first thing we want to do is flatten this out as flat as possible. So I'm taking my bone folder to do this. Just going to do the best possible job I can. It's not going to be perfect or anything. I'm going to try to get as best as I can, though. Just flatten. Flatten. That's about as far as we're going to get right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take this bottom part here. You need to decide which part's going to be top, which part's going to be bottom. You're going to be covering it all, but we just need to figure it out so we can go ahead and tape down the bottom. So I got some tape runner here. I'm going to go ahead, get some tape runner in there. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side, on the inside. Okay, there we go. That should do it. So now we're going to go ahead and flatten this. Burnish it real well with your bone folder. And you can see it's flat now, but it will try to come back up eventually. So what you want to do is get some washi tape that's anywhere from 5/8 to an inch wide. And we're going to go ahead and just put this on here. Do some more tape runner on top of here where you just see the bottom. And we're going to go ahead and lay this halfway on the roll, halfway off. And with that, we're going to go ahead and turn this around and do that again. And now we're going to tear off the washi tape off the roll and flip over. And this is how we're going to keep the bottom from opening. See? No way it's going to open now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get some scissors and cut the edges off here of the washi tape because that's not needed. You can discard that. And now what we're going to do next is we're going to cover this up. But I would recommend first getting a distress ink pad or whatever you want to use, Distress Oxide or whatever color ink you want to use, no matter what kind. I'm using Vintage Photo Distress ink on this one. It goes well with the pattern that I'm going to be using. And I'm going to go ahead and get this. I'm just going to go ahead and distress the edges here. Just ink the edges all around, just in case they get exposed, because one end will kind of be exposed. And now we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. And then this side, you could do the side the washi's on, but I'm not going to. Well, might as well try. There, I tried. All right, so now what we're going to do is get out our cardstock we're going to use and our paper trimmer. And we're going to measure this out first, actually. And this is going to be, I believe, 2 3/4 inches wide by about 4.5 inches tall. So we're going to want to cut this cardstock to 6 inches wide by 4.5 inches tall. So if you have a 12 by 12, you can get 2 of these out of this. And we're going to cut, like I said, 4.5 inches tall. Like so. And 6 inches wide, because this is already 6 inches wide. From the previous one I did, I didn't even show y'all yet. By the way, because I forgot to show y'all earlier, this is what it's going to look like when you're done. I totally forgot to show y'all. And got the gift card holder thing here too. It's where you put the gift card. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to score. I said it's 2 3/4 inches wide. So I'm going to go ahead and score at 2 7/8 inches. And it's going to be 6 inches, so there's going to be a little bit hanging over on the other end, but we're just going to trim that off if we need to when the time comes. So I'm going to go ahead and start using my tape runner. Get that all set up, and then up and down. Then I'm going to do the top and the bottom as well. And then we're going to use a little bit of glue as well. I guess I'm not. Glue ball's dry at the moment. So I'm just going to go ahead and have this right here. Left edge of our toilet paper roll is going to be up against this center line here that we scored. And we're going to go ahead and flip this over like so. Oh yeah, that does not look good, but don't worry, we're just going to cut off that top edge just a little bit in just a moment. And we got this here that we're going to do as well. Just run along, up and down, and then the bottom, and then the top. You can also use some liquid glue as a substitute or in addition to this. And we could, flip this over if we want to, but we're not. We're just going to cut this in just a moment. Go ahead and grab my larger scissors here. I'll go ahead and cut like so. Probably shouldn't use these scissors. I really didn't realize there would be sticky all over it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab our paper trimmer again one more time and just, cut maybe like 1/4 inch, if that even, off the top. And that should do it. If not, just flip it over. Should be able to see where to do that, like here. Just a second. Seems to be stuck. There we go. Cut it again. Voila. We're good. So, with that being done, we're going to go ahead and do some more distressing with the ink. And we're going to go ahead and this top. Sides and the bottom. All 4 sides on both sides. going to do this again. And, you know, without all the chit-chat and everything, this shouldn't take more than like 10, 15 minutes at the most if you're really concentrating. So now I've got to get the tags cut. So I got this, which is left 6 inches by whatever was left from before. I'm going to cut these into 3-inch slices here. Let me think. We're going to cut this 3 inches because our die cut machine is only 3 inches wide. Cut that into 3 inches. And cut this into 3 inches. You'll have a little extra left over at the end. It's cool. And we're going to use the B side on this one. So I'm going to bring out my Gemini Mini. I'm going to attempt to do both pieces at once. So I need some tape. I'm just going to put a piece of the the tape runner along the top here so I can hopefully not have to tape everything like crazy onto the cutting plate to keep everything in place. And now I'm going to go ahead and put this down here. Need some more tape. This one we're going to need washi tape for. Just a little bit, or some low-tack tape, whichever. I'll get this, tape that there. Tape this down here. Okay. Flip it over. Send it through. It should go through pretty well. And in the comments below this video, if y'all could just put in the comments what you would do, what kind of occasion you would make on these for. Let me know in the comments below. I'm just curious to know what y'all would use these for. Birthdays, Christmas, whatever. Inquiring minds want to know. I'll leave that for later. And now we got our 2 pieces. So we're just going to go ahead and take one and run the tape runner along it and match up. There we go. Got the circle out. The hole hadn't completely come out there. So I'm going to just try to match this up as best as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and put this upside down, like so. And let's see how that'll work. I think this is going to work. Yes, it is. Perfection. Pretty much perfection. So we're going to go ahead, burnish, and we're going to take a piece of green cardstock. This is a 3-inch by 6-inch piece of cardstock, just green cardstock. And pretty much all the stuff that I used today. Today, I'm using the Christmas time 12 by 12 paper collection from Craft O'Clock. I got this last year from Spectrum Art Creations. So maybe they still have it. They probably don't, unfortunately. But this is 12 pieces of cardstock, double-sided, and you get bonus color parts on the back side of the cover sheet. That's pretty cool. So now I'm going to go ahead and get this distress ink again, and I'm going to ink up the whole front here of the screen to make it look more rustic and aged. Alrighty, there we go. I think it looks okay-ish. I was going to rub that in a little bit more, though. Look a little neater. And let's see here. I'll go ahead and trim this a little bit. Okay, so we just got to do the bottom half here of this. Do this half actually. Use double-side tape, tape runner, whatever you want to call it. Gonna lay it like this. Lay it flat. That is probably too big of a circle. You can use 1 inch or 1/2 inch probably. And then we're just gonna do this whole one back here, because that's gonna go over everything on this circle. And there we go. I'm going to try and trim off a little bit here off the top so it just doesn't look so raggedy. Unfortunately, my paper punches don't want to work right anymore. I think I'm actually going to cut this a little bit here, just for grins. Make it look cool, I guess. And that's it. That's all she wrote. You just got to put it in there, stick it in there. Got a little something, take it out with. There we go. Hope y'all liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so yet, please do subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell for all notifications. And I'll see y'all again real soon. Bye.